Well, hello everyone. Welcome to New It 2 from Be Sewin in Oklahoma City. I'm Jan and I've got Ashley with me here today, and we are going to talk to you about something fun called couching letters, but we're not writing words with it. So we want to show you all about that. So come on over this way. Ashley, say hello to the world.
Hello, hello.
We are so glad you're here. Well, now we know that we just celebrated the 4th of July. Independence Day was, a couple of weeks back now. But guess what? It's never too late to make something else that's patriotic. You can set something up for Flag Day or just have it laying around, have something ready for next year. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a flag out of couching letters, and it's going to be an artistic Americana kind of flag.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that in a minute. And then we used a bunch of embroidery to go on top of it. And we're going to give you some tips and tricks about this, because while there's nothing really complicated about it, sometimes you don't know things you don't know until you do something. And then you go, aha, I learned something from this experience. Wouldn't you say that's a fair assumption?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So right now I am on the Solaris Vision, and we do still have in our Be Sewin inventory a very few of these left. So if it's something that you might be interested in and you want to scoop one of these Solaris Visions up, now is the time to do that. Now, if you can kind of glance over that way, that one is a Solaris 2. And
that's a pre-owned.
It's a pre-owned, and we do have quite a few pre-owned Solarises. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that if you are interested in getting a Solaris that has all of the upgrades, it might be a Solaris with upgrade 2 and 3, it might be a Solaris 2 with upgrade 3, but as those go, people want the ones that have all of the upgrades on it, and then we get down to the ones that don't have upgrades, and then we might not always be able to get hold of the upgrades. So if it's something that you really would like to have all of the bells and whistles on a pre-owned and get a great pre-owned price, this is the time to go ahead and jump on that. And the price for that is phenomenal.
It is.
So give any one of our stores a call and we would be happy to help you out with that, because it is imperative that you get a Solaris Vision or a Solaris 1 or 2 that has upgrade 3 already installed on it for it to have this alphabet on there. Is that a fair statement?
Yep. It's also on what, the Altair 2?
It's on the Altair 2, the Meridian 2, and the Radiance.
There you go.
the new machine.
Yes.
It's on the Radiance, and it's a wonderful set of letters. And what we're having fun with, and I think we've shown you in the past, is it doesn't just have to be letters. It can be whatever you want. We've made flowers. We've made snowflakes. Well, today we're going to make a flag. So let me show you the technique. Now you get to help walk me through this one, Ashley, because I know you're the one that built the flag.
Yes, and I actually got this idea from Baby Lock.
So you want to walk me through it, and I'll be the button puncher?
Yeah. If you go to embroidery.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to that couching category right down there. It's got the C on it, and it's got all of our fun couching things.
And then there's the letters right there.
Yep, perfect. So for the flags, I just used an I. We've done this before where we've done flowers and used a C.
Right.
We've done snowflakes with V's and L's. Right. All sorts of things that you can
And there's
make.
lowercase letters. So there's all sorts of different ways. I mean, we could do an L instead of an I. I mean, we just needed a rectangle, really, is what it needs. But you can play with all of these. And there's also numbers and symbols on here to be able to do things with, too. But today we're playing with the uppercase letter I.
Yes. And something I learned doing this is this I actually stitches from the bottom up, not from the top down.
That's if you keep it in this orientation. Like if we were to rotate it, that would change that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that being said, we're going to scooch it all the way to the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so we're going to go to edit and move, and we're going to move it all the way down. Okay.
And then we're going to go to our little border guy. Yeah, all those squares.
The matrix build, okay.
And then we're going to add to the top. And whatever order you put these on the screen is the order that they stitch in.
Right. So basically what you're telling me is when you first did this, you did it and you went down.
I went top down.
But when it stitched it, it went bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top.
And then you have a bunch of tails.
And you can't always know those kind of things.
Yeah. So if you build it from bottom up, then now, theoretically we won't have a whole bunch of tails in between all these pieces.
Now, do I need to center this?
I did, yes.
Okay. And then whenever this is the other thing I love about Matrix is now all I have to do if I want to add on to it is I can go over here and I can tell it I need the same thing, but I need it to build and I want it to build this way, right? So if we build and build and build. Now right now they're all just one color. And what we would want is stripes. So we would have to go back in here and for the sake of conversation, we're going to pretend like that's a whole flag. And we're going to say okay to this.
You could either go back in and recolor these individually like you're talking about. You could just build one stripe and save it in 2 different colors and add them to the screen that way.
Yeah, there's many ways you could do this.
You could do your blue section different for that square.
I mean, and quite honestly, if you didn't have to do it that way, you could just use the color yarn you need.
Oh yeah, you know what color, the machine doesn't know what color you're putting on here?
No, so I mean, knowing that you wanted like a red, white, white, whatever. And then you also ended up with a rectangle up here where it needed to be blue, but it could still be the same stripes through the whole thing. It's just a matter of using the right color yarn and thread at the time you need it.
Absolutely.
So that's not too complicated. Now, one thing I do want to note, and I am going to make this bigger, and we're going to just make it be 400%, okay? Do you see here, because when you made a really good point to me when we were talking about this, what it's showing us here are the stitches. It can't show you the yarn on top of it, but you can see like right in here, even though we have these all lined up, look how it's real close together in some parts, and then some parts it pulls away. The other thing is when you're stitching, different weights of yarn, so different thicknesses, the pull comp, the fabric it's on. There's all these different ways and reasons that I might be able to see a little bit of fabric through here, or they might be really scrunched close together. So it's not really going to make a whole lot of difference for me to really start trying to squish and push and adjust for that, because couching is you know, it's going, it's going exactly, but you can see that you have that gap here that you don't have here. We found a way to overcome that by, once we got all of it stitched out, we went back and did free motion couching, and we did lines down the middle, and it really cleaned it up and made it look sharp. So can I go ahead and show them what we've been working on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to show you here. Now, we've got the blue underneath there. And we'll come back to this whole part with the stars in just a second, okay? So this is where we had these. Now, I could have told it on the screen that that's red, that's white, that's red, that's white. But what she was saying was when she stitched it, she made it go down the row like this. But when it stitched, it went stitch, stitch, stitch. And then we have trimmed those threads. But if you look right here, do you see, can you get real close in there? We went back and we took free motion and we just laid down one row of yarn right there. And we just did red. We didn't see a reason to do white because the red cleaned this up. And then over here, you can see we did the blue. It didn't make sense to us to try and deal with the white on top of it. We just needed the lines to be clean. And I think it really made it pop a lot better.
It does.
Okay, so that was how we got all of this on there. And it is a little bit of time because it's just a bunch of letters over and over and over. And you do have to watch those tails so they don't get dragged back into it. And we do want to pull these to the back side. Now we're going to make a big pillow out of this. Now let me show you what we did over here on the stars. Because like I said, this is not a real accurate flag. Partly because you cannot change the size of couched letters. They are what they are. And in the hoop here, we couldn't fit 13 rows. So it really has 11. And maybe if we were on the Radiance, it would have fit 13. I don't know. I didn't try it over there. We ended up trying it on this one. It might have fit 13. It might have only fit 12. I really don't know. That being said, we're making this like an Americana flag because I also can't really fit 50 stars in there super easy. So let me show you what we're doing here. And if I go back into embroidery, we saved this. So we have the stars here, and then we used letters that are on here. And these are just letters that are fonts that are built into the machine. And these stars I did in IQ. So let me take you over to IQ and show you how to do this star. Okay? Because the letters were just, you know, I just picked up the 3 letters that I needed. So if we go into IQ Designer, and in the shapes, there happens to be a star.
Ta-da!
And it's a really big star when it starts, so we got to make it smaller. And so we're going to resize our star, and we're going to make it smaller. And we decided like a 3/4 inch star was going to be a really good size. Oops, now it's a 0.04. You can't even see it. Look, it's gone. It ran away from me.
Be a teeny tiny star.
So there's my 3/4 inch star, and I'm
Yes.
going to make it big so you can see it. There it is. Now the other thing we did is, Ashley, you gave me a great idea. What did you tell me to do?
I don't remember now.
You told me to rotate it.
Rotate
Because
it.
if I build it this way and bring it over, then I was going to have to take every star and turn it. And I
Uh-huh.
already knew that I needed it to be rotated.
Yes.
So it's a 5-point star. So I don't have, this doesn't have to be my top over here. I just need to make this point line up. And so if I go into rotate, and I can do like 1% at a time, and I'm just going to rotate it. Now I'm going to go past it just a little bit, because if I bump it up on that line,
Uh-huh.
I can see how I have it straight.
Yep.
That way, when I was going to make my repeats of my stars, it's pointing the direction I wanted it in.
Yes.
So that was a very good idea for saving some time and effort. Now I'm going to make it a little bit smaller again. We're going to go down to 200. Well, I'll do 400 so you can see it better.
Okay.
Now we need the inside of the star to have a feature, and we just wanted to fill it in with stitching.
Uh-huh.
So if I go into, it's already a fill stitch, but I'm just going to tell it, let's be gold. And then when we use the bucket, we can say you're going to be gold. And then we needed the outline to be something.
Okay.
And we did discuss this. We talked about, should it be a bean stitch? What should it be? And your point to that was?
It might get lost in the couching if we just
Right, because that yarn has depth. And so that's why smart minds work together, so that we come up with good solutions. And it always defaults to a satin stitch. I actually didn't change the width of it. I just went with what it had, but I am going to change the color of it. And then again, a bucket is going to tell that whole line to do something.
Perfect.
Now I don't need to build all of these in here. I just needed to build one in IQ, because I can make the copies of it over on the embroidery side.
Yes.
So that when I hit set and say okay to it, now it's here. And again, if I wanted to copy, and then I can move it. And if I wanted to copy it, and we decided to make it kind of be on a little meandering line. And then we didn't want to work too hard, right? So what did we do?
Group them.
So we went into grouping, grouped them together, and then
you copy those
I copied that. And then I can move that
as a whole set.
As a whole set and move it. And I offset it a little bit from the other one. And then if I wanted to copy it again and move that one and offset it a little bit. So we worked smarter, not harder.
Yes.
And that is how we ended up with that. Now I'm not going to save this one, because we already know that we have the whole thing saved in here.
Correct.
Which we have in embroidery in our memory. And I saved it a couple of times just to be safe. We're going to set that on there. Now let's go back to the hoop. All right, can you see that really good?
Yes.
Now the first time we did one, we did this one right here. What did you use on top of that?
I just used a water soluble topper.
Can you hand that to me?
Yeah.
So here's our water soluble topper. It's just that clear. And we got one star done, and we were like, no, because I can see the blue through that. Now I am going to stitch back over the top of that one because I want it to be solid. But this color keep topping, you want to hand me that package too? This is Floriani's color keep topping. Comes in pink, yellow, gray, black, and white.
Yes.
And those 5 colors look good under just about anything.
Yeah.
It just so happens that since I'm using gold thread, my thought process is, let's use the yellow color keep topping.
Absolutely.
Now it does tear away. Look how easy that tears away from there.
Yeah, that satin stitch really perforates it.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to tear the whole thing off, but I just want you to kind of see. And I would have to kind of go back and
this is not like a heat gun or a wet gun.
No, it's
What's
not.
underneath
But
there is staying
you
underneath there.
comparing that one to that one,
Yeah.
it makes a huge
It
difference
does.
because it's just that filler underneath it. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to go back in here and we're going to put USA on here. So let's show how we scan that back in. We had it scanned in. We deleted it because we wanted to be able to show it to you. Got to make sure we got all of our little tails out of the way. And again, we're not going to chop them off. I guess you could maybe do fray check and cut them, but we're going to pull them through to the back.
Yeah.
And we are going to make a pillow out of this. And now we need to scan this in. Did I lock that down? I always forget. Okay, so we're going to use our camera right here. And we're going to scan it and make that be our background. And it goes super fast. It takes about 3 swipes. Depends on the size of the hoop. If you're using a 4x4, I think it only has to go past it one time. And it's going to go across here, and it's taking an image of what it sees in the hoop, and it will become our background. Now, I hadn't taken this out of the hoop, so I can promise you this is going to fit because I built it on top of it, but I wanted you all to see the process. If you need to be able to plot something out, because if I had just put these letters on here, it may have fallen off the edge of my couching. It may have stuck down too far on the end, and I needed to be able to see it. And I was able to use this as my method. And we're going to go and lay color keep topping down on this part. And we're going to stitch out where it says USA on here. And we'll peel those off. And I'm going to fix the 1 star under here that needed to be fixed so that we have color keep topping on that one. So before we move on from here, let's talk about a couple of great things that you're going to need when you're doing a project like this. You need multiple layers of stabilizer. That's a lot of stitching, and we really want it to be supported. We don't want it to draw in and be puckered. So if you use Floriani cutaway medium, 2 to 3 layers of it, things I'm going to tell you, it depends on the fabric. It depends on the weight of the yarn. It depends on how much stitching you have on here. So you need to, kind of look at it like that. Stabilizer is not so expensive that using an extra piece to make sure that a project turns out great, rather than skimping on it and not using an extra piece and then having to start completely over and buy more yarn, more fabric, more whatever. Just go ahead and use that little bit of extra stabilizer. It's worth it in the long run. Use the fusible when you need the fusible. You think wisely on that. Don't cut corners on the necessities that are going to make your project turn out great. So we've got Floriani cutaway medium. We also have the color keep topping that we were talking about in all the different colors. So we're going to have these on sale this week for 30% off. That is a great deal on cutaway and on color keep topping. And you can use these on pretty much any of your embroidery that you're wanting to work on. So we've got that. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is we have a lot of Christmas pulls, but we also have some patriotic zipper pulls. And so when we put our zipper on our pillow, we're going to use these zipper pulls. You also could use them for earrings if you wanted to put them on little earring things. Aren't they cute? So we have these in stock too. So if you want to get zipper pulls 30% off too, we've got those available. All right, so we're going to do a giveaway this week, and it is going to be a package of color keep topping. And as a matter of fact, how about we let it be whatever color you want it to be? It could be black, white, gray, pink, or yellow. But we're going to do a giveaway of color keep topping. And do you remember how we do that?
You have to
like, share, or comment, and you do that by 5 p.m. this Thursday. And one lucky winner is going to get a package of whatever color they want, color keep topping. And you're going to enjoy the great discounts we have on zipper pulls, cutaway medium, and color keep topping. Now, we will show you pictures at the end of our video of our finished stitch out on here. So don't hesitate to watch all the way to the end for that. But we hope what we gave you today was some really great ideas on how to take things that are already built into your machine and turn them into something more than what they were intended to be. And if you don't have a machine that can do couched lettering, you need to get you either a Solaris Vision, an Altair 2, a Meridian 2, or why don't you go ahead and jump on the great opportunity to get one of our pre-owned Solarises that has all the upgrades on it at a really, really steal of a deal, and you can start making wonderful projects too. Never too early to make a American flag for next year, or if you wanted to turn this into a Christmas project or a Halloween project,
Absolutely.
there's all sorts of things. We'll help you figure out how to do it. Just let any one of us know. So we will put some pictures on the end of this. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us.